But the question now here is, are we going to be surprised if the Eagles go and win the Super Bowl after the regular season they had? All right, so we enter the playoffs now. The Eagles are the third seed in the NFC, right? We know they are not the favorite to win the Super Bowl. They're not. I mean, we could think they should be. We could want them to be. Hugh, they are not the favorite. Hugh Douglas, would you be surprised if this thing ends in a month and the Eagles go and win the Super Bowl again?
Very surprised. And I know people are going to be mad at me, but listen, I live in this thing called reality for the most part. For the most part, I live in reality. And when I think about the teams that you're going to be going up against, I like the Eagles. I like the talent that they have. And I like the fact that they are the defending Super Bowl champions. And I know a lot of people going to call in, and that's going to be the first thing that they say. But I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask the fans out there the question. Okay, offensively, I already know what the Eagles do. Like, we've already discussed and explained that in order for the Eagles to win the Super Bowl, it's probably going to be on the back of their defense.
Absolutely. We all know that.
Okay, so now I'm going to ask you a question going into this playoffs. And I'm gonna make it broad, because I don't, people get mad when you ask certain questions about the Eagles and things of that nature. But I'm going to say, okay, when you talk about the teams that we're playing against or potentially playing against, what do they do well and offensively, and what do we do well offensively? I'll just leave it there. What do we do well offensively? What do we do well?
We score in the red zone, Hugh. Well, yeah, we're good in the red zone.
Okay, how many times have we gotten in the red zone and we've been successful doing that?
Not enough. We don't turn the ball over much.
And Joe, when we had this conversation,
red zone, you know it.
When we had this conversation,
yeah,
you mentioned that, and I was like, touche, that was a good pull. But when I think about this team, and I think about the teams that you're playing against, probably outside because the San Francisco 49ers, I haven't seen a whole lot of them play this year, but we know that the offense coordinator is very creative.
Oh, yeah.
We have not been consistent in any category the whole season. Now, we're a good football team, and I commend them for the season that they had under the heavy scrutiny of WIP and this great fan base that we have here. But the bottom line is this. We've out-talented, that's the word I'm going to use that today, out-talented people.
Head coaches do things like that.
Yeah, we've out-talented people. And the reality of what happened this weekend was this. I said something early in the year where I said something, it felt like this team was a little arrogant. Sunday showed me how arrogant they were. You went out there with a backup that was playing with backups, Tanner McKee, threw the ball 40 times, Joe. 40 times. And he was under duress the whole game. And I know a lot of people, when they watch the game, say, oh, he played horrible. We see it differently. I saw a guy that was under duress the whole game. Not making an excuse for anybody. That's just the way that I saw the game. We do not adjust well to other teams' deficiencies. We haven't done it all year long. And now we got another team that's coming in here with a deficient defense that I don't know what to expect. So when you ask me, do I think that the Eagles are going to the Super Bowl, I'd be surprised if they made it. I would definitely be surprised if they made it. Surprised
is the word there from Hugh Douglas. All right, 215-592-9494. All right, Hugh, listen, I get it. I mean, I get your point, and they have not had a great regular season. It was fine. It was good. They won the division. It was not a great division. They won the division, and they clinched, and they got in and all that. But, Hugh, I tell you what, I would not be surprised if the Eagles go and win the Super Bowl again, because when you look at the playoff field right now in the NFC, I have a bunch of reasons. I'm not going to be surprised this team does it. This is one of the least, I would say, locked in, no doubt about it, top of a conference I can remember in either conference, right? Like there's not the old guard sitting there that has been there over and over. The number one seed is the Seahawks. I respect them. I think they are the favorite for a reason going in. This group of Seattle Seahawks has done nothing. It's a young team. They've never done this, right? So you have number one, you have the Seahawks. Number two, the Chicago Bears. Maybe a historically weak number two seed. So the teams above them in their own conference have never done anything. So you have that element to it. Number two, I know, and you hit on this, that the regular season was choppy, right? They don't do that many things great. Mm-hmm. They do share this trait with a lot of teams, though. You know who those teams are?
Who?
Defending champions. Teams that win back-to-back championships. That second year always tends to be weird.
I totally agree.
Right? Like, look at the Los Angeles Dodgers in baseball this past year. Until September, they didn't look very good. Then they turned it on. You go to the Florida Panthers, right? They just won back-to-back cups. They were a middle-of-the-pack seed the second time, but they had that championship DNA about them. And I can think back I mean, I remember LeBron's Heat team, the second time they won. They weren't as good as the first one in terms of regular season. The Warriors went from all-time good, then they fell off in the regular season, but won again in the playoffs. I mean, I go back to the 90s. The Yankees were historically great. Then they came back the next year. They won like 16 less games in the regular season. I think there is something, and I know we don't love this as fans. I think teams that win a championship, and last year's team was historically good in a lot of ways. The regular season's kind of boring.
No, I get that.
I think there might be another gear to this Eagles team that they haven't shown us yet.
I get that, but I guess where I'm at with the inconsistencies and the lack of scoring in the second half, I'm not that confident in thinking that they could make it all the way.
I
hope they do. Listen, I hope they do because, like, I already made up my itinerary for California. I'm trying to go to the porn place.
Yeah, why you got to?
I'm just saying. I'm not going to watch. I just want to. It's an historic building, the Mitchell Brothers building. That's all I'm saying.
I thought they closed it.
They did, but I still want to see the building.
Oh, okay.
I just want to see the building where the magic was made.
Priorities are.
No, I'm just saying. I want to be a part of this.
We're talking about the Eagles.
Yeah,
I just want to be. I just want to be a part of history and fellowshipping with this awesome Eagles fan base.
We have history here.
No, I
They're
wanna
going
be-
for back-to-back.
Fellowship by going to the porn theater with you?
Well, no, I'm just saying I'm not the only one that's going. I'm pretty sure I can find a friend group that want to see the Mitchell Theater.
All right.
But the point that I'm making is this. I live in reality, and most of the teams that we're going to be playing outside of maybe if Carolina, if we happen to play here, which I doubt we do, they're scoring at least 30 to 40 points a clip. We're not doing that. That's an issue. 21 points, Joe. Yeah. And we are hoping that our defense can hold serve. That's a lot of pressure to put on the defense.
You know what? They're up for the pressure.
No, they are. They are, definitely.
215-592-9494. I would not be surprised if the Eagles win the Super Bowl again. Now, it's going to be a difficult path to get there, and they're going to have to win a lot of tight games. I don't anticipate blowouts like we got last year, but I would not be surprised. Championship teams that go back-to-back, that regular season the next year is typically not as good. It is not as smooth. I think there's something to a little bit of a hangover, a little bit of this is kind of boring. It's the regular season. Look, the Chiefs won back-to-back Super Bowls recently, right? That second year, the 2023 Chiefs were not great during the season. In fact, that Chiefs team, very similar to this Eagles team in that their defense led the way, mediocre offense. They got in as a 3 seed. And away they went. I saw it with the Chiefs. I saw it with the Florida Panthers. I saw it with the Yankees back in the day. Lakers, Warriors, Heat. I mean, we can go on and on. Teams that win, Dodgers this past year. Teams that win back-to-back championships. Typically it goes, wow, this is all-time great that first year. And that second year, it's like, I don't see it. And then they just turn it on. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did it. The NFC, it's the Seahawks and the Bears. I respect those teams, but they collectively have accomplished nothing together, and those are the two teams above the Eagles. They have Vic Fangio and a defense I could count on. And then the other thing that I'm looking at, I know we haven't spent a lot of time on this. I think the AFC field is exceedingly weak. Whoever comes out of the AFC, are you really scared of any of those teams? The Broncos are the 1 seed. The 2 seed are the Patriots. Again, a young team that hasn't done anything. Weak schedule. The 3 seed are the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, the Patriots benefited from their schedule.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, they're here.
Yeah, but I think the NFC is going to win the Super Bowl. So to me, it's can the Eagles win 3 games to get to Santa Clara and then win it again? 215-592-9494. I know they're flawed. I know it's not perfect. I know that I have concerns about the quarterback getting into the postseason. But I had concerns last year. The Eagles, there's something about them that I trust them in big moments. And I wouldn't be surprised if they did this again. I mean, Hugh, you can never underestimate the heart of a champion. I've been trying to tell you that for a long time.
You can't. And I don't know anything about that because I never won anything. So for all y'all about
I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it like that.
But before you fire the salvos that I've never won anything, I'm going to say this. I'm closer to winning something than anybody else that's firing that salvo at me because I actually played the game.
Well, so I'm not going to fire that salvo, but I'm
being petty today.
I can speak for the entire audience when I say.
Oh, no, I know people are going to be mad at me, but the reality of it is this. We have been anemic in the second half. Where does anybody feel comfortable knowing that stat line going into the playoffs, knowing that if we get 13 points in the first half, that's probably the ceiling for us?
No, it's a new season, Hugh. It's the postseason.
I hear you. And
I don't think you do.
What has happened, what has transpired in the last couple of days, that makes you think it's going to be that different just because it's the postseason. Oh, we're going to turn the switch on. I listen.
No, I'm not impressed with the NFC field. I think there's two teams that are above the Eagles in terms of I'd be worried about playing them: the Rams and the Seahawks.
No, and I get the playoff scenario.
They could play each other next round, which means we got to. I really think there's a chance that the Eagles' path to winning another Super Bowl, go back to back, is simply winning one game, and that's the NFC title game. If they can find a way,
if they can get there.
Well, if they can get there, but. I think their toughest opponent, if the bracket plays out the way I think it's going to be, is whoever comes out of Seattle, Los Angeles. If they could win that game, they're going to be the favorite in the Super Bowl. They'll be favored over the Broncos. They'll be favored over the Patriots or the Jaguars or whoever. 215-592-9494. I would not be surprised if the Eagles go back-to-back and they turn it on here in the postseason.